So we are getting ready to pick up our pilot right now. He's going to come on board and bring us into shore. So not, sorry about that. Not too long, and well, we're going to be hitting into land and doing some really cool stuff. Sorry, I'm watching the pilot boat kind of come in, and it's interesting. It's not something I've got to see before, but we're right off the coast of Cozumel. We're actually kind of in between Cozumel and Playa del Carmen. So, yeah, it's cool. It's interesting. You get to see land on both sides. We're actually further from Cozumel than we are from Playa del Carmen, it looks like. I mean, hey, that's where they stuck us for now. Let's see. Oh, if Carol wakes up and goes, "Oh my God, I'm not there," Mutt's not there. Sorry, you wanted to sleep in, so I wanted to let you sleep. Hopefully you slept very well and you get a nice smile when you see this. So yeah, a little recap of yesterday. Costa Maya, Mahapul Village. Actually did some diving there at a place called Blue Cay, and the dive shop is Mar Adentro. Really interesting, very cool to be out there. It's a little more, call it, downscale, hippie. They call it an eco cabana. So yeah, it's a little different. Where the area where it's at. Diving was nice. Got to 95 feet. Some canyons and stuff. Overall, it was a lot of fun. Bad thing is as I've gotten older, I notice I'm a little bit more sensitive to motion. In fact, even on this great big huge ship that's like 225,000 tons, we yesterday were in the theater and on deck 3, and I can feel movement of less than 1 degree. And let's just say that that's bad when you're on a little dive boat. Oh my gosh. And ocean was up a bit, and so some pretty good sized waves in there, and let's just say that I was chumming the water every single time. It's awful. I don't do a whole lot of ocean diving. I do a lot of lakes and stuff like that so far. And I've done a couple of ocean dives, but I never really had any major issues. When I was in Jamaica, I did get sick one day. But yesterday, it was like as soon as I hit the top of the water, boom, done, chumming it. So I actually almost canceled my second dive, but I went ahead and took some of the motion sickness stuff, and I was able to get through, even though it was still oh my god, but hey, whatever, I got it done, and it's really been a lot of fun. So yeah, I've been noticing a few things around the ship that are different, and so here in a few days I'm going to take and I'm going to go do a little bit of a live stream, maybe a bit of a walkthrough of the ship. I don't know exactly what time, but I am going to try and schedule it, and so anybody who is interested in that can check it out a little bit. Hopefully I can actually do a little walk around and not drop connection real bad. So today, normally there's a shop called Sand Dollar Divers, and that is where the cruise line books their stuff through. I had that booked through the cruise line today, and I had it booked through the cruise line yesterday, but all the Mexico dives got canceled, and it's just like boom, done. So everybody's kind of scrambled for their own. And it worked out. And one really interesting thing, and I had somebody remember me, and it's amazing because all the staff on the ship are different. You know, and that was a little bit surprising. You know, I figured at least the same captain would be on here, but who knows? Maybe he got moved up to something bigger and better, and if he did, that's great. You know. But anyway, so gentleman named Chris, who lives out by Tucson. Hey, Chris, thanks for remembering me. It's a kind of a nice thing, you know. So anyway, you know, Chris actually dove with me in October of 2019 when I was on this ship in Cozumel. And that was my very first ocean dive ever. That was my dive to 70 some odd feet, and I have not edited that video. Every time I go to look at it, I sit there and I go, oh my God, everything's rocking back and forth, as I was very new. And trying to get myself a little bit more stable is a little bit more difficult. I'm going to move over here and sit down a little bit. So it was great seeing him, great chatting with him, and you know, it was really nice. And because all the dives were canceled by the cruise line in Mexico, you know, everybody kind of scrambled and booked on their own. And I know that there was a couple yesterday who had done dives with us in Roatan, and they had dives booked with a shop yesterday, and I hope their dives went well, because as far as I could tell, it was set up for Cozumel yesterday and today, and there's no Cozumel down there. I mean, we were, I don't know, 100 nautical miles, give or take. You know, from one to the other. Maybe it's more. I don't know. I haven't done the math and looked it up or anything else. But total yesterday was 1,100 and some odd nautical miles, maybe, or 1,300. I can't remember. It's a long ways, but you know, when you travel constantly at about 25 miles an hour, it goes pretty quick. But so yeah, so met up with Chris, and then I didn't know which dive shop I was going to be at. I booked it through the travel agent that I use, through the service they provide, and cost a little bit more, but and then I had to provide my own transportation. But the nice thing is that they do have a guarantee on that type of stuff. If their boat breaks down and you guys are adrift and it takes you, you know, 6 hours to get into shore or whatever, the booking place says you will get back to the ship. We will guarantee that. It's not on my dime, it's on them. And so that was the reason why I did that. Now, Chris ended up being there as well. I couldn't remember which one it was and stuff like that. So, let's see, what else? I don't believe I'm going to be diving with him again today. I will be at Cozumel Palace, and there's a dive shop there that's inside the hotel, and that's where I'll be diving with. And I don't believe that's where Chris is going, yeah, it was really interesting, and it was nice chatting with him. And he saw me again yesterday, and you know, we got to chit chat back and forth, and I got to talk a bit about some of the geeky stuff. You know, I'm starting to do some home automation stuff and putting up addressable LEDs on the front porch for a front porch light, so I can have it bright, or I can have it colory, or I can have it goofy, or whatever else. So it hopefully you know, I can do that for him as well if it's something he really likes. So yeah, I think everybody else is booking their own dives through Sand Dollar. It's very possible I could be one of the only people on this dive boat, which, you know, it's interesting, but you know, maybe that'll work out a little bit better. I know that Cozumel will be drift dives, so that'll be nice. I'm a little bit wore out after doing dives in Roatan and Costa Maya. Costa Maya was a little rougher than I expected, and the walk with all my gear was a beast. Probably about half a mile along the pier before I even got into port. And the way their port is laid out, it's a pain because you got to go. They have a gate that you can kind of just zip through to get out, but to come back in, not so much. And so you got to walk through all the little shops, and then a lot of us just took a shortcut through a gelato place and to make it a little bit less. So you're looking at about a mile walk there, and that I was surprised. Today won't be nearly as much. It'll be pretty short, I think, for the walk. Should be able to grab a taxi and get down to where I'm going. Yesterday, for one person to hop in a taxi was $8 to get to where I was going. I gave him a couple bucks extra because, well, I know that my gear is going to be wet, and the gentleman had said, yeah, when you're ready to go back, just, let me know, and I'll call him, and he'll be right back here to pick you up. And it's like, great, man. So, yeah, that was kind of nice. And then ended up taking and splitting a ride back with another guy that was on the dive with us. So, we gave him $6 a piece. That gave him a $2 tip for each of us. Again, wet people, wet gear. I want to be nice. I want to do something good for him. And, when he stopped in and he's chit-chatting with the other guy, he's like, hey, look, here's my number. And he called him up, and then when they got back, money exchanged hands, one scratching another's back. He kicked somebody else like, $3, $4, $5, and hey, look, he made a little bit. I don't know how much they do or anything else, but money's money, and if you're trying to feed a family and stuff, that's great. So you can see it's getting a little bit lighter out and behind me. It was pretty dark. It's almost 7 o'clock right now, I think. So I'm gonna go get something for breakfast and go grab my gear, and hopefully as soon as we get into port, I will be able to hop off and get to my dive. It's supposed to be at 8, and ship's boarding is at 4:30, so I'm not gonna have a whole lot of time to knock around. And like I've said before, this has been booked for a little while, and we actually booked back to back. So next week on Thursday, I want to say, I'm going to be back in Roatan, and Tuesday I'll be in Cozumel, and Wednesday I'll be in Cozumel. I am doing a dive in Roatan. The others I'm not. There's other things that need to be done, so it just didn't happen. And I am, working on the house, and I had a tarp up on there, and it was really good. And I guess there was a pretty bad storm while we were gone, and Carol's son sent us some pictures, and the tarp had a split along a seam. So yeah, that's a little stressful for me, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I can't stress it right now. So, well, anyway, so I'm gonna get out of here, get something to drink, get something to eat, get filled up, get my tank ready. I've already taken a anti-nausea med for rocking back and forth. So, and actually, I've got some other stuff that I'm gonna take with me as well, I think, and that I know for a fact kills nausea instantly. So anyway, so that's it. I'm out of here, and please do the things like subscribe, share, dislike, do something. Let's get those ratings up. I want to keep doing more and more of this, and I would like to have some other opportunities come about with this. So, do those things, and do it for others too. It's not just me, and one major bummer yesterday. Well, I seen a spotted eel, a green moray eel, a stingray, and a few other things. And I've been diving with 2 cameras, and after the first dive, I was coming back up onto the boat, and rough waves and everything. The boat shifted, I swung around and didn't notice it. I keep a camera on my wrist, and then I've got one on my mask, and the one on my wrist disappeared. And so, you know, maybe it'll be found. I would love to get the footage back if somebody actually does end up down there. It was a whole bunch of little island reefs and where we were at, and so, you know, if you find a camera like that, you look at the SD card. My address, phone number, and email address, I believe, is on there. I don't remember if I updated the address yet, but the email address is there, and so, you know, just contact me. Keep the camera, keep the housing, just send me the SD card, you know, because I'd love to have the footage available to add in. I'm trying to run a couple of cameras so that I can take and, you know, have extra footage, and, you know, maybe I'll cache something else. I'm hoping that the camera on my forehead, on my mask, is going to be a little bit more stable for all that, too. So, anyway, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by, and do good things out there, right? All right, take it easy. Bye.